somehow or other in my life, music has always played a big part as long as I can remember. I always felt that music had a healing effect on me. You know, I somehow or other, by singing, I released so much energy, whatever stress, you know, whatever happened around me, as long as I was singing, nothing could touch me. And so I've been singing ever since I was a kid. Lately I've been singing too much, and my voice was gone, and it's just a little raspy today, but I'll somehow or other fake it as good as I can. And I want to take you along for a while in chanting mantra, and then I'll also, will speak a bit about spiritual life and spiritual matters from the heart. Somehow or other, yes, I grew up in Holland, not far from Amsterdam, just in a little peaceful area, but close enough to be there all the time. And of course, it was a crazy place, Amsterdam, and maybe still is. So I did also many crazy things, but which you do over there. And I went to India when India was still kind of pristine and kind of untouched by Western influence. When I came into the city of Benares, and the main sound was from the bicycle bells in the street. And just deafening sound from bicycle bells. 1 car per hour, only bicycles. A very natural place where in the evening you would see many people sitting on the street cooking their dinner on a little fire in buckets, some sort of, little portable stoves where they would make a fire and cook. So simple that to someone from a complicated culture like myself, was really impressed by that simplicity and spirituality combined. And that was a point that I absorbed at the time. And I realized, yes, that should be the formula of my life, simplicity and spirituality. Well, I'll take you further on that one, I guess, later on. First, we'll sing a little bit to kind of create positive energy in the atmosphere. Oh, 1 sec, pull some buttons. Jnanatimanandasya Janandana Salakya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamayam Dadati Swapadantiyam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Oh Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I used to write different songs. One time I was in Kathmandu, and there was a cafe, and it was called The Hungry Eye. And that really got me going, you know, the hungry eye, because I was thinking, yeah, that's me, you know, like I had this hungry eye, and always, and I started meditating on it, and I wrote this thing, these old hungry eyes have told me many lies, but maybe this one time I will be satisfied. Okay, let's try it one more time. And in this way, yes, it goes like that. Sometimes the eyes say, this is it, this is it, this is it. And after a while, no, wasn't it after all? And then look somewhere else. Oh. So in this way, I was roaming around there in Kathmandu. It was really a time to reflect, because I was buying time, you know. My father's business was not exactly what I wanted to do. That's one thing I knew. I knew what I didn't want to do. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do. That was the problem. If you know what to do, okay, then you just go for it. But my problem was, I only knew what I didn't want to do. Then if you also found yourself sometimes in a situation like that. So I walked in thinking, yeah, you know, I was supposed to be my father's successor, but ever since my childhood, my father used to come home from business, and then my mother say, quiet, your father has a headache. And sure enough, every night. So I was thinking, I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. So that wasn't so convincing. So I thought, no, maybe not that. And then what, you know? So I found a solution, because in those days, India was so cheap, right? That like, basically with 2 months of making some money in the West, the rest of the year could live in the East. Easy, sit still. So I was buying time. Basically in 2 months, some or other, scrape some money together and then go to India. In this way, materially, I didn't have to commit to anything, and at the same time, I could explore. I had time to explore things. So that was my approach to life. And yeah, then it became a time to reflect, since I didn't know what to do. When you don't know what to do, yeah, then it's a time to think, what do I want? This is not uncommon, especially men. They oftentimes don't know what they want. See, ladies, you know, sooner or later they want a family, so that's sort of there, you know, like, okay, let's have a family. And men, it goes like, family? Do we really? I collect cartoons because I like cartoons. So I have this cartoon of a boy with a bunch of flowers. And in his thought bubble, there is only one thought, sex. Yeah. Then there is the lady's thought bubble, and there's also sex, and it's overlapping. But then in the lady's bubble, there's also family, children, grandchildren, home, and the whole thing in that bubble, you know. And you go like, gosh, man, we think about these things and think like, whew, am I sure about all that? Every man has his doubts sometimes. I'm revealing here the male secret, you know. What can I say? It's like, yeah, it's like that. These things grow later in the bubble, you know. It can grow in a man's bubble, but not immediately. It takes time for all these other things to come into the thought bubble. And it's just a psychological difference that we're programmed in different ways. And it was a really good cartoon. I really like it. It's sort of, I have a few other good ones. I also have this one of, there's a park bench, and there's a nun sitting on the park bench on one side. On the other side, there's a Muslim lady. So the nun basically is covered, and all that's out is like this much of the face. Then the Muslim lady, it's like even less, you know, only the eyes are showing, right? And then in the middle, there's a girl with a bikini, and she's got sunglasses on. Isn't that cool? You make of it whatever you want, you know? But it's interesting. What to do? Huh? Yeah, Vedic culture says women are like fire, and men are like butter. So when the two comes together, the butter melts, right? What to make of that is that, yeah, women have a special power, you know, more than men. See, if I'm not going to really do it, but if I would pull up my skirt, right, it wouldn't be very impressive. A hairy leg would come out, and most people would not really be too impressed by it. I'm not too impressed by it myself, to be honest. It would be different if I was a lady, then, you know, boing, at least half of the room would be caught in attention. So, yeah, all these things I was thinking about when I saw that point, the old hungry eyes, and I was thinking, my eyes, they want so many things, right? So many things I'm always looking for, always eager for this and that. So yes, I could see that was maybe what made my life so complex, that I wanted so many things. And I thought, if I would want less, then, and if I would need less, then I wouldn't need to work in my father's company. Right? 1 + 1 made 2. So, yeah, so you can see how it all was leading up to walking around in robes and all these things. But, so the point I'm trying to make is the robes were not like some artificial imposition on my life, right? Rather, it just gave me a platform to express what was already there: simplicity and spirituality. And yeah, okay, we live in a world which is sometimes very complex. I liked the simplicity of India, you know, long time ago. I won't even tell you how long ago, very long time ago. I won't give away how old I really am, but old. And so at that time, people were living very natural, very close to nature. You know, they would, I lived there for some time, and oftentimes it was warm, and people would sleep on a straw mat and have a clay pot for drinking water, which is nice because it sort of keeps the water cool, but not like refrigerated, but pleasantly cool, actually. So in this way, and if you wanted a little cooler, you could wrap a wet cloth around the pot, then it was still a bit cooler. You know, there were tricks like that. And drinking water, we would take it from the well, throw a bucket down with a rope and just pull it up, and then, fresh water from the earth. Sort of like very honest kind of existence, you know, so different from like, okay, what's coming out of that tap there? I wonder what it is, you know. I mean, if you brush your teeth with it, it bubbles, and what kind of chemicals have they put in here? Type of world that we live in, right? Everything is so mixed up nowadays, this whole, yeah, you know, like, you use like shaving cream, and nano particles are entering into your skin. And they just deposit there. I mean, all creepy things, really. If you think about it, if you start to think about these things, you get really paranoid, you know. I was on a train in Germany, and someone sitting opposite of me reading a newspaper, and they're holding it up like this, reading the newspaper. So then on the back page somewhere, it said all the places that were like, all the public places that you always sort of imagined to be really full of germs, and they done tests to see how many germs were on there. And there were really that many germs on doors, on bathroom doors, on door handles, on, you know, on airplane seats, and like all these things, right? And it's like, and it was like, so I must admit, I started reading it. So yeah, we live in this age, you know, where knowledge is power, says Nelson Mandela. Right? Nelson Mandela pointed out that knowledge is real power. That is where we get a handle on the world. Yes, that is true. But what is behind that knowledge? Right? So in the modern times, we are fending for ourselves. You know, we are basically. It started with various philosophers. One was Nietzsche. Nietzsche, interesting, was saying, man finds himself in a hostile universe, and the answer to it is power. So I was thinking, okay, you know what I mean? I talked about the bacteria, a meteor comes down, but we shoot it out of the sky with a laser beam, no problem, no worries. You know, the bacteria get too much, no worries, throw a nuclear pill on it, you know, 2 days, and you're okay again, you know. Like, yeah, we got it all under control. Too hot, turn up the heater, or turn on the AC, too cold, turn up the heater, all these things. We're in control, right? To an extent, right? To an extent. And then I came to that India, and it was so different because people had a different approach. Their approach was looking for blessings and saying it's by the power of blessings, by the power of blessings that the circumstances change. How interesting. When, for example, when women didn't have a child, there were holy places they would go to pray and pray for blessings. Right? Couples would go there and would perform some austerity there and then get the blessings. And they were convinced that that was going to solve. We go to a hospital and check out everything and see how we can somehow or other, right, get a test tube baby or whatever. I don't know how they do it, you know. Like, it's basically, we take it in our own hand in the modern culture. So traditional cultures are more looking for blessings. So I liked it so much. It was such a relief, you know, like instead of me having to figure it all out, you know, me having to follow it all, me having to understand it all, me having to study it all, learn it all. My God, I have to know everything about different varieties of germs. I have to know everything about meteorites in case one is coming down. What will I do? What do you do when a meteorite is coming down? Well, according to the cosmology handbook, it says when a meteorite comes down, go to another planet. All right. I should build my own homemade spacecraft in case, you know, like a modern Noah's Ark, right? In the backyard in case I have to leave. Also complicated, right? Also complicated. If it all depends on me, my arrangements, I got to be smarter. I got to be slick. I got to be really smart. Cool. Are you cool? Are you slick? Are you smart? Your phone is smart, but are you? Yeah, you gotta be fast. Are you quick? Are you ready to respond? All these things, you know, like, are you aware? Are you asleep? Are you missing something? Beware. Look here, look there, everywhere. Anything can happen all the time. How nice to rely on the power of blessings. Where there are blessings, there will be protection. No problem. Don't need to worry. I can just put my faith in the power of blessings. So this is something that improved my life a lot, you know. It diminished the stress quite a bit, because if I had to be aware of everything, alert about every possibility, everything could happen, my God, then I need a brain with many compartments, and, you know, this one dedicated to cosmology, this one dedicated to the germs, that one, you know, like so many different compartments in my consciousness. And thus, so much brain activity, jumping from box to box. And where's the peace in the middle of all that, you know? So no, I said no. Therefore, simplicity spoke to me. And I could see, if I simply go for the power of blessings, my life will become so much better. So yes, this was something that really appealed to me, something that I felt at home. For the first time in my life, I kind of felt at home in that approach to life. I said, of course, you know, I didn't like everything about India. Not the dust, not the this, not the that, not the heat, oh, so many things, so many austerities. But still, you know, there was a time when I lived there in a holy place, and there was no phone. No phone at all. And even snail mail, no email, didn't exist. Snail mail never arrived. If you sent a letter, it would get lost, and if your mother would send a letter, you'd never get it. That's how it was. You know, just that's the way it was. It's all communication finished. Imagine, for 6 years I lived in a place, a smaller village in India, no communication, zero, no telecommunication, only local communication. I tell you, best time of my life, really. I mean, we're living in this age, right? I mean, telecommunication, constant. You feel your phone vibrating. I've put mine on silent, you know, like, man, actually flight mode, so hope we'll be okay. But I know as soon as I get out of here, I turn the thing on again, then all the pop-up things come down, and wow, so many messages while I was here. Oh gosh, I missed all that, you know. These muscles, right? Nowadays, you see these thumb muscles, you know, they are like, they become really thick. You see people with thick thumbs, you know. There used to be muscles here, right? You know, not anymore. It's now in the thumbs, you know. Thumbs up, you know. That's what it's all about, right? Yeah. Somehow or other. So, when I think back at that time, when there was no phone, I took my water from the well. You know, that time, I actually had time to think. I didn't Google, because there was no Google. So you had to think for yourself. If you wanted to figure something out, you couldn't quickly Google it. You know, you had to actually think. Jeez. And you know, it was nice. Simple living and high thinking. So simplicity and spirituality is what I like. Mantras help a lot to sort of take the mind away from all these things. You know, like they say in Vedic scriptures, they say the Visayi. The Visayi means the sense objects. And it says the Visayi, the sense objects, go into the mind. Or to say it even more simple in modern language, the mind goes into the things and the things go into the mind. It's very interesting, you know. Then at one point you got a mind full of things. If you lock away some money, you don't just lock away the money, you also lock away a part of your mind with that money. It's there. You parked your car, you know, somewhere, right? Part of your mind is like the car, right? The way you parked it, you know. We came with him. You know, the nose of the car was sticking out quite a bit, huh? Nose, car, nose, car, nose, car, car nose. like this, the things go into the mind, mind goes into the things. So the mantra liberates us from all these other things. Just one focus. Focus on a higher reality. It's what you need. As soon as you step out on the sidewalk here, it's like impulses, bang, bang, impressions, everywhere. Right? You just, you come down the stairs, get on the sidewalk, you blink your eyes through all the lights and all these people and everything is going on. You quickly, at a glance, take it all in. Who's out there? Are they all okay? Okay, first thing, make sure everything is okay. Is everybody okay in the street? Yeah, looks right. Okay, well, that's just reflex, Then you look, okay, watch that bus, 50 tons of steel coming flying by. This far from your nose as you're about to cross the street. Think about it. Tons and tons of steel coming at like an incredible speed, right? Sometimes this distance from your nose. You stand there. It's normal. You stand in the middle of the line, traffic on both sides, each one of those cars can squash you and turn you into tomato juice if it wants to, right? And you stand there. We stand there totally relaxed. Yeah, it's normal. It's life. But all that is to be processed in the mind. And all that we carry, all these impressions, all these things. So here's a little island, little spiritual island, and we chant mantra, which lifts us up to the spiritual platform, and it makes us peaceful, and it gives us fresh energy, fresh energy to sort of, and then we go out there again, blink, blink, what's going on here? Yeah. So I do one more mantra, and then say a few more things to round it up. No. Where is it? By the way, next to me is Ashik, and he is a really hot drummer from Mauritius. Right? Mauritius is an island, it rocks, I tell you. I've been in many places, but Mauritius really rocks, that's for sure. I was just there a month ago for a couple of weeks, and we had some beach parties. My God, the beach was rocking. So he rocks, he's holding himself back. And, he doesn't let go now. He's like sort of holding back. Me too, actually. Usually I also rock, to tell you the truth. If you find me on YouTube, you will not find the same sedate, peaceful style. On YouTube, it's just it's fire. What can I do? I've got a bit of fire in my nature. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, and that's his brother. Hare Rama, he rocks as well. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Who's on the sound? Hare Rama. This one, a little too loud. Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And sing again. And one more time, one more time. And one more time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And one more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. A few more words to finish, and then I'll leave you in peace. So you can sit for a few more moments. And yeah, I was writing songs, and it's something like taking pictures. You know, you catch the moment, and you sort of preserve a moment. There's a particular mood that you have at a particular point in time. You express it in a song, and then you freeze that in time, sort of, that moment. So in that way, it's like taking pictures. And so at one point, as I was singing these songs, I felt I'm always dealing with the past here. I'm singing songs of things that I went through in the past. I'm not with the here and now. So then I decided to try and just sing and make up, improvise everything, melodies and words as I was sitting on stage and sort of be in the moment, so to speak. And I tried that. Yeah, and I guess I was getting ready for something else than just writing songs, and I sat at the Ganges, and the stream was just going on, and it seemed to represent eternity, like a flow that was continuing. And yeah, so from the temples one could hear the mantras. And the mantras, just the same melody over and over, like from morning till night, throughout the night, just the same old thing, you know, like sort of like, but it would sort of take the mind really with us, or with it, and we would, so there I got into this, in chanting mantras. Tonight I have done a bit of both, a bit of music and a bit of mantra combined, because the music adds a taste, a flavor, an atmosphere, a mood. So that's also important. It's not only about emptying the mind. Spirituality doesn't mean that one has to empty the mind. It also means that one has to fill the mind, right, with positive energy. Not only get rid of all the negative energy from all those things that burden us, but also fill it with positive energy. So the mantra is actually bringing us positive energy and a positive experience. So it also, as a side effect, empties our mind from all these things that we carry with us. But that's not the main thing. Just as, okay, you know, you can, how are you? I have no problems. Okay, that's very nice for you. Anything good happened also? Or you only had no problems? Okay, nice, you know, you had no problems. And then, anything exciting happened this week? No, there were no problems. Okay, great. Did you have any fun or what? Did you have did anything inspiring happen? So from that simple example, looking at the week, we can understand that just to empty out from negative is not yet complete. So real spirituality is more than emptying the mind, which is very popular, you know, in meditation. But then to fill the mind with positive energy. And with aesthetics, you see, some think that beauty in this world is Maya. They think beauty in this world is a trap that binds you and ties you down, and you have to somehow or other cut it. So go in a cave and block out the world and meditate, or deep in the forest, in a tiny little hut made of branches and grass. And there you'll sit inside, you know, if you're smart. You put a cloth over your head, so that you cannot be distracted by anything, possibly, so that the illusory energy, Maya, will not get you. As I was thinking, is that spirituality? I don't know. I thought, no, cannot be. There is beauty, there is taste, there is something celestial. I was on a plane. I'm often on planes. And this time I was on a plane, and the plane came from Africa, from South Africa, and we were heading for Europe. So we left in the evening, and in the early morning, we were just above North Africa. And then what happened was the first light of day started to break above the clouds. Then suddenly one African man comes forward, walks to the front of the cabin, and he makes this gesture. Now, I know that gesture. Musicians know that gesture. That's what a conductor does when he wants attention from his orchestra. And then he goes, and it turns out that there's a gospel choir in the plane, about 60 people, African gospel choir. And they start singing these African gospels, and it's like melodies through melodies, rhythms through rhythms, all voices, but the whole thing is just like an incredible mix of everyone sings something different, and it all fits together in an amazing arrangement. And celestial. And we're there, and the sun is rising, and we hear these celestial songs, and everyone is just like in awe. At one point, I saw 3 pilots standing in the cabin, looking at it. I was wondering who's flying the plane, you know? I mean, like, Anyway, everyone was there, and then after that morning, there was thunder in the sky. I tell you, there was thunder in the sky when the applause was happening. It was just amazing. Everyone felt it, you know. The spiritual, at that point, the spiritual just sort of flowed into the material domain, you know. Suddenly it was there. I mean, they did it, you know. They brought it in. Everyone was touched. People were crying, you know, trying to sort of rub the tears away. It was like an experience, right? A deep experience, actually. Yes. So, and it was beautiful. It was celestial. It was divine. It was just such beautiful sound. Right? Such overwhelmingly beautiful sound. So let us not turn away from beauty and say, beauty is just simply the bait on the hook. No, beauty is all right. So all the aesthetics of the world are good, but they are meant to connect with the divine. If we don't connect them, then they will pull us down. And then these things will obsess our mind and get in so much entanglement. My God, can't believe it. What a mess life becomes when we chase after the beauty in itself and forget to connect it. So that's the key. Take the things of the world, be in the world. We're in the city, downtown. We're downtown. We're not like in the forest right now. But it feels, in a way, like the forest. We're looking at these beautiful paintings. I don't know who made them, but it's really something. Cows or photos, whatever they are, but they're really wonderful. Deep. A message. Someone is embracing a tree. That tree, I tell you, is not an ordinary tree. Oh no. That tree, folks, is a desire tree. That's why she's hugging it. Have you ever hugged a desire tree? A tree that can fulfill all your desires. That's one over there. Right? Yeah. It's a desire tree, believe it or not. Yes, there are miracles in the world, but our modern worldview doesn't allow us to see them. Children see miracles, but when we grow up, we have too much knowledge, we're too educated. We can't see miracles anymore. But this is how it is. The divine presence is there in this world, and we can connect with it. And then we take things from this world and connect that to divinity, and suddenly we become uplifted. So this is what is happening with mantra. Simple instruments, and yet we get uplifted in this way. So yes, this is the secret. It doesn't take a lot, you know. Okay, we had a mic tonight, we had a little sound system, but it can also be done in the living room. Even kirtan, you don't need much for kirtan. Even if you have no instruments, just go in the kitchen and grab something. You know? I mean, those are amongst the best kirtans, actually, where you just grab some kitchen utensil and, you know, you go for it. The spontaneous ones, right? Where somehow or other, everyone contributes. And that is the wonderful thing of kirtan, that everyone contributes. Whatever it was this evening, it was not a concert, not a performance. It was creating positive energy, And we did it all together, right? And we shared that. And that sharing actually is what we take with us. I'm taking your positive energy. We take Ashik's positive energy, his brother's positive energy. What was your name again? I forgot. Huh? Loving. Lovey. Yeah, so all positive. So we hope that you also had a positive experience and feel rejuvenated. And that's what this place is for. Just a tiny little positive place in the middle of the hustle and bustle of a modern city. So I thank you. I'm going to escape soon. And but looking forward to meeting you again sometime in the future. Once upon a time, I stayed in Melbourne for a longer time, so I'm kind of at home here in Swanston Street. It's a nice city. Has a lot going for it. So it was a pleasure to be here with you all. Thank you so much.